Hello YouTube, my name is uidsea, and today we're back in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. This is going to be something different. This is not a normal run. This is going to be kind of like an introduction for new players, because I know a lot of people are getting into this game all the time. It's becoming much more popular than the original Binding of Isaac was, so I figured why not try and do something for the new people. So anyways, let's get into it. This is Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Why is it called Rebirth? Because this is a remake of the original game, The Binding of Isaac, that Edmund Macmillan made back in 2011, I think it was. Twin stick top-down shooter with roguelite-ish elements. We're going to go into a new save file, and I'm going to pretty much explain the game as we go. And, okay, yep, I don't have anything unlocked on this one. So, this is Isaac. This is our character selection screen. We can move with the arrow keys, or if you want to use the mouse, you can. Oh, no, actually, you can't use the mouse. Never mind. This is Isaac. This is the first character you start with. And then these are all the other ones that you can unlock, more or less. As in, for instance, Maggie, unlocked by having 7 or more heart containers. Cain, 55 pennies. Judas, locked blank, unlocked by not picking up hearts for 2 levels. Beating 2 levels without taking damage, making 3 deals with Devil in 1 game, 4+ soul hearts, and then locked. And, you know, a lot of these seem pretty hard, like don't pick up any health for 2 levels, don't take damage for 2 levels, but it really isn't. So, we're going to jump in. And the characters have different stats. If you'd really like to know the specifics, I can list it off. For instance, no, actually, we'll just don't even worry about the numbers and everything for right now. So, there is Isaac. You can move with the WASD keys. You can shoot with the left with the arrow keys, and then it shows you right here how you can do that: move, attack. You can throw a bomb down. Isaac starts with 1. You use that with E, and item, and you will see the items in a little bit. So, up in the top left-hand corner, you have your hearts. And hold on, let me just hit that real quick. Up in the top corner, you have your hearts. This is your consumables, and this is your map. If you hit tab, come on, there you go. It can show you different layout of the map. This is the small mini-map version. You hit tab, and this is the big map. And as you go through the level, it will highlight more rooms, and that's essentially how it is. You have multiple rooms you go to, you fight enemies in it. When you clear all the enemies out, the doors open, you can go to the next room, and there's special rooms that we'll see as we go through it. I'm probably going to take damage, do a lot of stupid things, but it's all for a tutorial. There's also a timer up here, for various reasons we'll go into later. So, you hit escape, and you see a bunch of stuff up here. You're like, oh my god, what's going on? Oh no. So, this is the first thing, right here. This is called your seed. It is a randomized group of letters and numbers that you can use to get this exact same run that I'm playing. So if you want, you can go like this, go back into, we'll go into new run, and you could, right up here it says press tab to input a seed. You press tab, you put in the seed. That probably, yeah, that wasn't an actual seed, but we'll do that. And we'll just head back into this one. And you can essentially play along with me if you'd like and see what you can get. Down here is my stuff. It's stuff that you gain through the run. They are items. There are 2 different types of items. There are passive items that you collect that will just passively buff your stats or give you some type of buff, and then there are active items that you use on a room, and it will do a certain effect, like do damage to all enemies, give you flight, etc., etc. And these are your stats. This is speed. This is tier shot speed. This is damage, range. I think that's tier rate and luck. I always get these 2 confused. One of these is tier rate, and one of these is tier shot speed, and we'll go into that. And then if you want, you can also go into the options. I just have the sound and everything set pretty low, so for recording, you can have the pop-ups on or off if you want. I don't really care. Gamma, most of the time the game is actually played at 100 gamma, but that is very dark for recording, so I crank it up to 150. There we go. You can turn the filter on if you'd like, and it makes things look a little bit more smooth. I personally don't like this look, so I'm going to go back off there, and then full screen, etc., map opacity. But anyways, that's the majority of it. There are also a few stats that are not on the screen that you will see. They are faith, evil, and there's one other that I can't quite remember what it is, but we'll get into it at some point. So let's go into the first room. We're going to go down, and then these are our first enemies that we're seeing in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, if you're playing along with the seed for me the first time. Those are, if you care to know, these are enemies called Blastocysts. So, how you fight. I'm happy they're really slow enemies so I can kind of show you. You move around, you shoot at them. You miss at them. You shoot. You shoot. You shoot. After 4 shots for that enemy with base Isaac damage, he dies. He explodes. Makes a terrifying little sound. And you're on to the next one. That is a drop. That is another consumable that we have. It's a tarot card, and we'll just grab it. Like I said, drop E to get a bomb. It'll blow up the rocks, and then boom, there you go. And 2 of spades. If they're the bicycle cards with the little red around them, like the red back, it's usually a special type of card. Either 2 of spades, 2 of diamonds, 2 of clubs, 2 of hearts, and that doubles one of the consumables that you have. 2 of hearts doubles the amount of hearts that you gain. It just refills your hearts. 2 of diamonds refills your money. 2 of spades refills your keys, I think, and then 2 of clubs refills your bombs. I get those 2 confused also. But anyways, let's go into the next room. Now, there are many different traps in the game. As you can see, those are spikes. If I walk over them, I'll take damage. And I'm not, for people who actually know what's going on, I'm not worried about anything else, like meta or whatever. I'm just showing you. And that all traps, like spikes and whatnot, do 1 full heart of damage unless you have certain items. And you got to pretty much avoid them. And there's different enemies that can kind of shoot you into them and throw you around them and whatnot. But we're not going to worry about that right now. This is a room with a key. As you can see right there, there's a little key. And if you blow up the map, you can see that, boom, there it is. That is a little room that could be a shop. And I think for this, there you go. Okay, so now you can see that. And if you want to see like the bigger map, and that could be one of a few different special rooms that we'll get into later. There are the shop, which that most likely is not. That I think is a library, because the locked door room closest to the spawn room is always a library first. If I remember correctly, it's library or a shop. There are a bunch of little things with this game that are kind of hard to remember, and I have almost 200 hours into this game, and I still forget a lot. But anyway, so we're going through, we're killing these dudes, and then a bomb drops, so we got 1 more bomb now. Now we might as well go into the layout of the floors, because the game is played where you start off in the basement, or the cellar once you unlock it. It is the first floor, as you can see, basement 1. That's done by holding down tab. And if you go through this floor, there'll be a boss at the end of the floor. You beat the boss, you go on down to the next floor. And then after that, you just pretty much keep going down a series of increasingly harder floors until the very end, where you have to beat certain bosses and then you beat the run. So that's poop. You can shoot at it. Sometimes it contains money, sometimes it contains hearts or pickups. These are fires. They're another trap. You walk into them, you'll take damage. You shoot them out. Sometimes they contain money and fire, or money and whatnot. So, this is the item room. This is a golden chest. You need a key, as it kind of looks like. This game takes inspiration from The Legend of Zelda. If you're familiar with the older games, then you might see some similarities to it. Takes inspiration from a lot of other things as well, but Legend of Zelda was a pretty big inspirer of it, what with the dungeons and the keys and the chests and everything. So this golden room is called an item room. The first floor Whatever first floor you start with always will have a free unlocked item room. After that, you'll need a key to get into them. So we'll go in here, and boom. And this is an item pedestal, and this has an item. Items can be passives. Like I said, they can buff you. They can give you good stats, or sometimes bad stats and trade for other good stats. Active ones, where you use them, and they have a certain recharge time based on the number of rooms that you clear. And also like this guy. This guy's a familiar. This guy's brother Bobby, and he follows you around, see him? And he shoots with you. He shoots just a little under your tier rate. As you can see, for like every 2 that I shoot, he shoots 1. I don't know if maybe that's a little bit easier to see it. Yeah. And he'll follow you around, he'll keep shooting at whatever direction you shoot. And that's what the majority of familiars do, with the exception of 1 or 2. They have some special special abilities. But these guys will most of the time help you, regardless of what you actually hear from other people, whether these items are good, whether they're just bad, blah blah blah. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about getting you through your first Isaac run, and hopefully I can get through my first Isaac run with this also. Because sometimes I'm bad when I'm waking up early in the morning and playing this. So let's go. As it says right there, that is Gluttony. These are mini bosses that you see. Told you, inspired by Legend of Zelda. Then again, that's not the only game with. It's not the only game with mini bosses. Oh no! Why are we freezing? Okay. I was gonna say, why is that happening? But anyways, the mini bosses are based on the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, sloth, greed, lust, envy, and one more that I can't remember. I know avarice isn't one of them. I don't remember. But anyways, this is a key pickup. This is a heart pickup. This is a soul heart pickup. It's kind of like armor in other games. You pick it up, and I'm also not picking up the red heart to try and unlock a character. But anyways, that is a soul heart. It's blue, as you can see. Once it is gone, once someone hits you and it's no longer here, then it doesn't come back. You have to go find another soul heart. You can find more and pick them up, and it'll like refill them, but you can't actually refill it through normal red hearts. I'm just going to check here for something since I'm doing this run. This is something that you really don't need to worry about your first few times. This is a secret room. I know there's a lot. It's 8 minutes in. I'm doing quite a lot, but whatever. Don't worry about it. I'm be making more of these type of videos, and we will see. I'll go in depth with each one later, but you can, as you can see, it is in between 2 rooms. It is in between this one right here. See the one that I'm standing in, the one that I'm highlighted in? That's actually a little bit easier to see because it's a little bit brighter. In here, and the one on the other side. Generally, that's how you'll find a secret room. But, like I said, you don't need to worry about it for your first run. I'm just going to open this golden chest and see what we get in here. Okay, this is an item. This is called Tammy's Head. It says, and it shows you the little item description. And as you can see up here now, we have an item that is an active item. It's a use item. You use it, and this is its recharge time. When it's one big bar like that, you just have to clear one room and you get it again. And you use those by hitting space. In the instance of Tammy's Head, it shoots out an omnidirectional blast of the tiers that you currently have. So if you have special effect tiers, then it'll be 12 tiers of a special effect. If not, it'll be just your normal tier, your normal damage. This is a fun room that might intimidate some newer players. These flies, the flies later on can be hostile and they'll chase after you, but that one luckily we didn't have any. As you saw me shoot that and explode into money, it was a golden poop. It usually explodes into money or a special trinket that you can use. So we're going to go and fight the first boss. This is, as you can see, like a little skull door here. This is the first boss. It has a little red aura, like you see, so you can't really mistake it. And it'll also show up on here on the minimap. It'll show a skull. So, let's go. And this is the first boss, the Gurglings. I personally hate the gurglings, and I just used Tammy's head to really speed this up. I should re-say that. I hate the gurglings on the first floor. But this is one of many bosses that you'll encounter. And here are the hostile flies, like I was saying. But those are one of the many bosses that you'll encounter throughout the run, and every single floor has a boss. There's no floor that does not have a boss. You have to fight the boss to proceed, except for a few different ways you can do later on. And whenever you kill the boss, you get a little item. Here's an item pedestal. This one is called the blue cap. HP up, tears up, shot speed down, and it gives you a little like effect of like twinkling blue sparkles around you. This has a lot of, I guess you could say, offensive imagery to some people, because the initial story of the game is you're Isaac, and it actually shows when you first start up the game. If you watch the intro cutscene, it shows up that you're Isaac. You and your mom are living in a house, just, minding your own business, enjoying your life. And then your mom hears God talking to her and says your son's corrupt, he needs to be punished, blah, blah, blah. Take away his worldly possessions. So first takes away all his toys, his clothes, and everything. And then he keeps on going with that until eventually she hears God say that you need to kill your son. And as she's coming to kill her son, he's sitting in his room, Isaac, kind of like looking for a way to come out, and he finds a trapdoor to his basement, and he hops on down. And that's where you get first here. And this is the basement. This is where you first come down after your mom has, tried killing you. And you have to fight through ever harder increasing waves of enemies that have a striking and horrifying resemblance to yourself. That's the gist of the story. There's a few other things, but we won't worry about that right now. We'll hop on down to the basement, and we'll go down to the next floor. And it should be basement 2. Yes, because this is a new save file. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, we're alive, we're here. No enemies will ever spawn in the first room that you hop down in, unless you install some type of weird mod for that. But no enemies ever will. So to our left, it's a normal size room. To our right, to our bottom, is a large room. As you can see, it takes up 4 room spaces. It's a large room, so we'll go in, see what's going on. We have our full item charge, so if we need it, we can do it. As you saw, it killed one of the gurglings instantly. So, and these are fun enemies. They chase after you. Like I said, they all resemble you in a sense. These rooms are kind of like Zerg Rush rooms. They swarm you with a bunch of enemies, and you have to pretty much survive. Certain enemies, a lot of enemies in this game have multiple segments. Probably shouldn't have got hit there. A lot of them have multiple segments. As you saw, I blasted his head off initially, and now he's floating around without a head. And some of them shoot tears after they're already dead. It's, like I said, for some people, it's a horrifying game. Like, this is a terrifying game for some people. Come on over here. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Really? Really? Go on. You can bait him. There you go. That was fun. And a lot of these rooms are kind of like labyrinthine in a way. There's a bunch of different rocks and passageways and whatnot. These are pots that if you had bombs, you can blow them up. Let's figure out what 2 of Spades does. I'm pretty sure it's bombs. No, okay, it's keys. Alright, and let's continue on. This is another special room. It doesn't show from the outside, but this is a special room. It's called a curse room. Or, self-sacrifice room. You walk on the spikes, there's a chance for it to spawn items or a chest. That's more of a play that most people don't ever really use, but it is there if you have a bunch of extra HP. Here's another... Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't be taking damage, but oh well. Here is another mini-boss. His name was Sloth. And, there wasn't too much to him because we already killed him. But he shoots out explosive tears, and he spawns enemies. Most mini-bosses spawn enemies in some way, shape, or form. They'll spawn littler enemies. Some of the mini-bosses later on spawn mini-bosses. Kind of difficult. Bit confusing, but anyways, as you saw, I used a key to open this room, and here we go. It's weird, we're getting all familiars. This is another little familiar, his name is Little Haunt. He follows you. He's a little adorable ghost. He follows you, and he attacks enemies whenever they're around. He does something called fearing them, which will turn them purple and will make them run away from you for a certain amount of time, and then afterwards they will come back and be immune to the fear for a little while, and then you come back again, and etc, etc. He's a pretty good familiar to have. He's one of the better ones. Brother Bobby is one of the least useful ones, I guess you could say, and not really a big favorite from most of the community. But that's, once again, that's for another video. So, we have this room. It's a shop, I'm pretty sure. We're going to go into it. We use a key. Oh, okay, that confused me. I was like, why do I only have that low of items? So, here's a shop. This is another body of yourself. I fit perfectly in there, see that? There's sometimes rock, sometimes fire, sometimes poop. Bunch of different things. And here's 2 items that we can buy. Their price is on the bottom of them. That is 15 cents. All of the items like passive or active items that you can get in shops will be 15 cents unless there is a sale, which you can sometimes luck out into. And the consumables are always going to be between 2 and 5 cents. And if I wanted, I could buy a bomb, but I don't really need it. This is a donation machine, as you can see, and above it says donation machine. You run into it, and you donate a cent. Run into it again, donate a cent. And you can keep running into it until you either run out of money like that, or it breaks, and you have to wait until the next run to donate some more. The donation machine, when you get certain numbers, like I think it's 100, 200, 300, 500, and then I think like 999 or something like that, it gives you more item pedestals in the shop. So you initially had 2. When you're done donating to 999, you have 7 or 8. Not always items, but also collectibles and whatnot. This is another room that has traps. There we go. That didn't really do much now, did it? I was trying to get that rock over there, that blue one. It's called a tinted rock. You can see by the fact that it's blue and it has a X on it. It will sometimes drop soul hearts or keys when you blow them up, as well as an item. But this is the majority of the game. You pretty much just go through the different floors, fighting the enemies, and that's it. You get to the end, you beat the boss, and you beat the boss, and then you do it all over again. That is the essence of a roguelite game. You do a run, you either win or lose, and then you start up another run, and most of the things are randomized, and you can have more or less different runs every time. And we're going to go on and fight the second boss. As you can see, what I got down here was a chariot card. If you hold tab, it shows the effects of all different items. May nothing stand before you. It gives you a brief period of invincibility and also does a lot of damage to enemies, contact damage, so I'll show you right in here. Yeah, why not? Well, let's use Tammy's head. And then we use Chariot card. This guy is named Monstro. He bounces around and then he shoots tears at you. And I think because we beat him, we got Monstro's tooth. And then this is another item you can pick up, the safety pin. It gives you evil up, which is evil in range and shot speed up. And like I said, evil is one of the stats that you don't actually see, but it contributes to certain things later on. And now you can see, because of that, my range, I can almost reach across the entire screen. And my shot speed's a little quicker, so the tears fly across the screen quicker. Cool, let's go. Let's see, did that work? Okay, no, I think I can't have picked up any hearts, so no soul hearts either. As you can see, evil also gives you this. It is a black heart. If I remember right, there's no formal name for it, but I call it a sin heart, soul heart, sin heart. And it works much like a soul heart. It's essentially armor in most other games. And whenever you lose it, it does damage to all enemies on the screen. So it's very useful to have, you know, if you tactically use it to lose it at a certain time, where you're either fighting like a difficult boss or you're fighting a room with a lot of enemies, you can clear it out in one go. And like I said, there's traps everywhere in this game. There we go. I'm not even going to worry about the names of the different enemies at this point in time. Yeah, there are certain enemies that spawn enemies, there are certain enemies that attack you. A bunch of different things. But as you saw him turning purple, that was the fear effect. There are, like I said, there are certain environmental obstacles you can't overcome. Oh, that was the soul, or the sin heart. Ah, shoot, I really don't want to pick that up. Oh well, whatever. I'm trying to unlock one of the characters, and it was don't pick up pick up hearts for 2 floors. But anyways, was that really worth it? Probably not. So, there we go. Got another item. It's a passive item. It's called butt bombs, and it gives me, every bomb item gives you 5 bombs, except for pyro, which gives you 99 bombs. That, excuse me, and it also gives you a little visual effect, like there you can see the little butt bombs on him now, and it gives the bombs an effect whenever you use them. Boom. It stuns all of the enemies in the room for a little amount of time. Stunning them gives you more damage to the enemies. There's a bunch of different status effects that are in this game. Fear, stun, paralyze. What are the other ones? Charm, which essentially causes the enemies to fight for you for a brief period of time. And there's another effect or two, I just can't remember them. This is an Eternal Heart. As you can see, it's half white and it's pulsating. If you pick that up and you carry it with you to the next floor, it gives you 1 HP at the start of the next floor. So we're going into another boss battle. This is Chub. This is an enemy that spawns enemies. He chases after you. He calls you bad names when you're sleeping, and you know, you gotta kill him. All of these bosses are beaten by a little boy crying on them, which is really weird when you think about it, but hey, I'm not one to really complain, I guess. So we got shots. That was a magic 8-ball, shot speed up, and it gives you a tarot card. And this, the room that just popped up there with like the little evil face, is called A Deal with the Devil. It's a bit more late game. I'll go into those in another video, how to get them and whatnot, but essentially you just have to not take damage on the floor, and usually having sin hearts or soul hearts will help that. You don't take damage, there's a chance that it'll pop up, and when you walk in, you are confronted with the devil. Yes, there's the devil and quote-unquote God. Not really God, but angels and whatnot in this game. And the deal with the devil, you can trade your heart containers for items of varying effects. You do not get the heart containers back unless you find an item that gives you another heart, like the Eternal Heart that we had. And there's also that red chest, and sometimes it also gives you deal with the devil items. If it's free, you might as well take it. You know, if you're not paying for it, if you just open a chest, you might as well take it. This is Fear Shot, and if I go ahead and go boom, it's a damage up and Fear Shot. It changes the visual effects of your tears. As you can see, they're kind of like black little balls now, and it also gives you the visual effect of like dead eyes. And that one you can use to go down to the next floor. It'll just pop a hole in the ground, but I'm not going to currently trade 1 heart for it. So, we went to all the rooms I really care about right now. You can full clear the floor if you want. It's entirely up to you. But I recommend for new players to clear the floor whenever they can, because it just gives you more experience. I mean, that's the big thing. And take a drink of water, my throat was kind of killing me. Okay, so here we are. We're down onto the next floor. 24 minutes in, that's not too bad. So this is what we call a curse room, right here. This is a curse room. If you walk in it, you'll take damage, which will, unless you have soul hearts, like I was just explaining in the last floor, it'll hurt your chances to get a deal with the devil. But there are sometimes enemies in there. It's kind of a gamble. There's sometimes enemies, there's sometimes items, there's sometimes soul or sin hearts that you can use. And it's something that most people go for if they already have lots of soul hearts or they're not too worried about deals with the devil. But we're not going to go into it for now. There are two different ones up here, as you can see. There's a mob trap room and a boss trap room, as made evidence by the little icon. One's red, one's blue. Depending on certain things, if it is closed when you have full health, it's most likely a boss trap. It's a boss trap room, if I remember. It's one of the two. I can't remember a lot of these rooms because I don't really go into them a lot. They're item there's sometimes item pedestals, sometimes chests. You open them up, it spawns, depending on what floor you're on, 2 to 3 waves of enemies or bosses. You clear them, you get another consumable. It's like a challenge room if you want to try your luck with it. But anyways, let's just head on, and here is... Oh, look at that, we fought 3 mini-bosses in 3 floors. Isn't that nice? This one's Envy. He breaks off every... Hiya! Okay. He breaks off into smaller pieces of himself. And you may be wondering, like, these look like meme faces and whatnot, because they are. Edmund Macmillan initially made the game as, like, it was kind of, I guess you could say like a troll game. It used a bunch of meme faces, like here's the like the blar face that you see, like I'm a fire, I'm a laser, and that's the item. And it's 2 room charge, as you can see. We're gonna stick with Tammy's head though, because Tammy's head's much better. That was a golden chest. I didn't have a key. Can't open it. So there's that. Thankfully, the game is being pretty nice to me so far, because we haven't really encountered too many really hard rooms. That's one of the many effects of the enemies that you fight. Some can explode, and as you saw, most of those enemies just exploded. Usually if they're gray, they explode. These are mushrooms. You can blow them up for sometimes items, sometimes pills, sometimes absolutely nothing. The majority of these, of like the items and effects and rooms and whatnot, are a gamble in this game. You could get something good, you could get absolutely nothing. This is an arcade. You have to spend a cent to get in there, and then there's a few different little things that you can do in here. This, you give a penny to it, and you keep giving pennies to it, and it can sometimes pay out with trinkets and consumables and whatnot. This guy, most people call him a 3-skull Monty. I don't know if that's his actual name, but you give him a cent, and then he has something that has like a consumable, and you get to pick one of the skulls. If you pick the right skull, he gives you consumable. As you pick the wrong skull, he gives you a fly. Luckily, it's nothing much more. There you go. And a lot of the times it duplicates it. And this is a blood bank. Whenever you walk into it, it takes half a heart, but it gives you a penny in return. After a certain amount of donating, I guess it's technically donating your life for money, it will blow up and give you a certain item. So I have no keys. That kind of sucks. I can't open any of these. Which is too bad. Can I get a key, please? No? Okay. Well, that's fine too, I guess. I mean, I didn't need a key, apparently. That's another trap. It'll pull you in towards the spikes. And we're just gonna go on, clear the rest of the floor, and see what we can do. Let's not pick up the hearts. Once I unlock the character that I was doing, I'm gonna start picking up hearts. There's no reason not to, unless you like to impose limits on yourself for the game. But Some people do that. And I mean, hey, that's whatever you want to do. If that's your prerogative, then that's your prerogative. Shoot. I can't really say anything about it, you know? I'm taking a lot of damage. No reason. This is Gertie. One of the tankier of the bosses. Boss with more HP than most. Sometimes she spawns enemies. Sometimes she just shoots at you like that. But she's a stationary boss. So she needs to have something. Hey, we unlock Little Chubby. And this is a HP up. There you go. Take the soul heart. I'm going to try and full clear the floor to try and get a key. Because I really don't like leaving... at least item rooms without opening them. We're going to try something. Yeah, well, I don't have a soul heart anymore. We're going to try something. Sometimes secret rooms border... okay. Sometimes secret rooms border rooms like the curse room and the item room here. We'll try... Can we get it here? Yeah, we can. Let's see. Maybe? Nope. Okay. At this point, I don't really know where it is then. We're going to try and hit that last room and hopefully get a key. We could also try in here, see if the boss trap room is open yet. Or mob trap room. Nope, still closed. Okay, so we have to go down to 1 heart for that, which I really don't want to do. Not right now, at least. Not while I'm trying to show people how to play the game. Because if I die on the run, that's not a very good tutorial now, is it? Come on, guys. There we go. Keys? No. Sin heart, though. I could play the blood bank, I guess, and get down to... Yeah, why not? We'll try it. We'll try it. Dime, not bad. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could play this for a little while and hope we get a key out of it. Could also play him if we wanted. There we go. Give me a key. No? Okay. Don't give me that, please. Okay, good. Like I said, there's lots of gambling in this game. Lots of gambling, lots of risks that you're taking. Okay, let's try a different skull then. You can choose one of the 3 different skulls. We will most likely take that Eternal Heart. Can you please give me 1 key? That'd be great. I'm trying to tutorialize things here, so if you could just be nice to me and help me out real quick, buddy. Or not. Yeah, okay, pay out with hearts when I'm trying not to pick up hearts. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, we'll keep trying, why not? Ow. Don't stand too close to the flies, they'll attack you. I'm not trying to pick up hearts. I mean, you heard me, right? Okay, well, you could always blow them up, too. Almost all of these can be blown up. That's great. That was a pill that you can get. They give you... You don't know what they do until you pick them up. Oh, we've been picking up Eternal Hearts, so that's technically a heart also. Fine, we'll just do this then. We'll play the blood bank and hopefully get... I don't know, something. But, yeah, the pills can have good effects and bad effects, depending. That is, once again, like I said, also random based on the run. Apparently that can sometimes pay out with a trinket. We'll pick it up. That is a trinket. It's down here. It gives you a passive effect for the entirety of the run that you hold the trinket. This one happens to have a higher chance to spawn hearts at the clearing of a room. So we'll try and play this for a few more hearts, see if we can't get anything. There we go. If we can get 1 key, that'd be nice. I'm just looking for 1 key. There we go. That is literally 1 key. That is 2 keys. Alright. Now we're cooking with portals. Okay. So let's go in here first. Okay, so this is a passive. This is one of the 12 zodiac signs that you can get. Pisces, although that's not, to the best of my knowledge, that's not an actual... I didn't think that was the sign for Pisces. I always thought Pisces was two fish atop each other, but what do I know? Give me a tier up, which raises the amount of tiers I fire per second. Essentially a DPS upgrade, and knockback, so whenever we hit enemies they kind of fly back a little bit. And we'll open the golden chest, see what we get. Golden chests 9 times out of 10 pay out pretty well, with at least maybe, you know, one or two more keys, or oh, might as well grab that. 1 or 2 more keys, sometimes a bomb, a few other things. Well, I mean, since we're picking up R2, might as well just do it. Alright, so here we are. Boom, I could go back and play that if I wanted, but I don't really want to. Plus the blood bank will take my Eternal Heart first, so I really don't want to do that. And then we got Cricket's Head. That's a passive. It's a damage up, and we unlocked the Parasite apparently. It's a damage up. As you can see, the damage upgrade is evidenced by the size of my tiers. My tiers are considerably larger because Cricket's Head is a considerable damage upgrade. Like I said, golden chests 9 times out of 10 pay out. Every once in a while, you'll just get like a red heart or two. And if you're already at full health, then that really doesn't help you at all. Since we can't fly, we can't pick that up. Yes, you can fly in this game. Okay, where in... oh, there goes my Sin Heart. I probably shouldn't have picked that up now that I think about it, but oh well. This is going to be a very long video, because I'm going through everything. By now, I probably would have almost been... honestly, I probably would have been done with this run by now. Normally. And this is an enemy you can't shoot from the front. He has a block. That is another trinket. You pick it up, wiggle worm, and it makes your tiers wiggle like that. There's a lot of tier effects in this game like that. Kinda cool. They're sometimes fun. As you saw by Tammy's head, my tiers have changed. My tier blast has changed according to the tiers that I have. As you can see, pills down here, nothing. Boom, 48-hour energy. That is a pill that just lets you reuse your item multiple times. This is another of the many enemies that spawn enemies that, and then he breaks down into smaller enemies that also break down into smaller enemies. This is one of the mini bosses I was saying. This is a normal boss in the early game, but later on just becomes a mini boss that you can fight in normal rooms. Okay, let's go on down. We got Monstro 2. We fought Monstro 1. Now it's time for Monstro 2. He is a more annoying of the bosses. He is a boss that not a lot of people like. Because he spawns enemies, he shoots lasers, he has kind of a lot of health, and he jumps around a lot. As you can see. I shouldn't have taken damage there. The whole goal of it, usually when fighting bosses, is to not take damage, because there's a high chance that you can get a deal with the devil, and those give you upgrades of various degrees, as you saw earlier. So we'll take that. That's less than 3. That is a HP upgrade. So now we have 6 HP. As you saw in the beginning of the game, we started with 1. It's one of the many factors that change in this game, is that your health goes up and down all the time. You shouldn't be married to your health too much in this game, because you lose it quite frequently. And if you've started playing this game because you've seen other people play it, and you probably already know quite a bit of this stuff. If you watch, what was I thinking there? Yeah, you can't get to that rock if I remember right, without flight. If you watch perhaps myself or many of the other Binding of Isaac YouTubers, Northern Lion, Biznap, Cobalt Streak is a streamer. There's so many others. Diabetic. Off the top of my head, like that's the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, but there's a lot of us. Casper, iCasper. You probably already know most of this stuff. Just by watching for a few hours, you'll pretty much get all of this. But if you've never seen it and you just kind of want to know what's going on, this is kind of a, like I said, this is a quick tutorial. And I figured the easiest way was to just do a run and show you everything and explain everything as we're doing it. There's no, there's nothing like experience, right? Or some variation of that phrase. Hiya! There we go, we got two of them, that was cool. Yeah, okay, this is a mob trap room, because we have full health. Let's do it, why not? Yep, as you can see, it spawned mobs. That's what the enemies are called, mobs. Ah, yeah, shoop. Yeah, teleported into me. You fight 3 waves. I think on the first floor you only fight 2 waves? No, you fight 3 waves regardless of where you are. Hiya. It hit him, I guess. Or that might have been Little Haunt, I'm not too sure. Boom. Okay. And like I said, you get drops from it. Sometimes you get a chest, sometimes you just get a key. Yeah. Well, we only took one out. That's not good. There are a lot of weird enemies, like I said, that are multiple segmented. As you can shoot the heads or the bodies off these, and they'll follow you around. Follow you around, shoot tears at you, etc., etc. This is a stone chest. Drop a bomb, it explodes. Boom. There you go. Got another head. There's a lot of different heads in this game. Guppy's head. It spawns between, I think, 2 and 4 flies for you that do 3 times your damage, 2 times your damage, something like that. That's a passive. Scapular. You see you have a little like aura around you now. When you get down to half a heart, whenever you get hit enough to get down to half a heart, it will spawn a soul heart for you, and then the aura will disappear. When you go into the next room, if you survive, then the same thing will happen. If you still only have half a heart, it'll spawn a soul heart, etc., etc., which can be exploited and abused pretty easily. Let's go into the shop. Oh, okay. Now let's go into the library. How's that? This is the Bible. You use it. It's a 6-room charge. Gives you temporary flight. Kind of cool. Not really that useful, though. Useful for certain reasons, but nothing that I want to go into yet. Check if there's a secret room here. No, I didn't think there was. Alright, now to the next floor. We should be getting close to the end. Yeah, okay, we're at the end. Sorry, I just need to take another drink. My throat's kind of hurting. So we're on depths 2. Yeah. Like I said, different enemies. They kind of just break down over a series of time. This is the last floor, so I'm not worried about Devil Precedent, so I'm just going to go in here and see what I got. So we get 1 pill we don't know. Full health. And then 3 pills we don't know. Bad gas. Okay, that essentially just makes a fart noise, and it does a little cloud that poisons enemies. A lot of this game has childish humor. There's a lot of farting in the game. Which, hey, if that's your thing, then eat your heart out. If that's not your thing, I'm sorry, but this game is like rage comics and faces and fart jokes, as well as a lot of Christian mythology and whatnot. A lot of holy and religious symbols. Obviously, because that sucks. Because, I mean, you're getting chased by your mother down in the basement. She's trying to kill you because God said to kill you. So, I mean, that's a pretty big, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. This game is kind of offensive to some people. I think when it first, like, got big, it got a little bit of news time. It was for, you know, offensive imagery and whatnot like that. The reason my tears were shooting diagonally was that was a pill. It says it's called "Are You a Wizard?" That's also based off a meme image where, like the guy's eyes were sticking out to the left and right, and it makes you shoot in diagonals for 30 seconds. Those white enemies, as you can see, I'm hitting them. You can't damage them. They're like a mobile trap. You have to kill all the enemies in the room, and then there you go, they disappear. Let's try and not pick up hearts on this floor. Nah, I don't even care at this point. Ah, man, do I love these rooms. There's a lot of enemies like this that have quote-unquote armor. It's not really armor, it's just that they can't be hit from one side unless you have a certain effect that lets you pierce through them. So, we're getting closer to the end. There's a lot more enemies in the game later on that can jump and attack you from long range. These ones in specific, they jump and then they shoot tears out in certain directions. There's a lot of annoying enemies in this game. A lot of enemies you really don't like fighting unless you have to. You shouldn't be taking damage against flies like I just did, but I'm not even paying attention. Yeah, I don't even care at this point. Okay. Like I said, mobile traps. And stationary traps. I doubt it'll work, but hey, well, nope, didn't think so. There we go. So we're getting... yep, some enemies shoot lasers. We're getting close to the end, but I still want to go find the last item room. There's an item room on the first four or five floors. Until you get into a certain part of the game, there's an item room on every floor, essentially. A shop on every floor. Arcade spawns if you have... There's a chance for an arcade to spawn if you go on to the next floor with 5 or more cents. Library, chance to spawn if you've already had a book at some point. That's another familiar. We're getting a lot of familiars in this run. He follows you and shoots lasers. He's kind of nice to have. There's a few others. Let's see, what's this? Oh, I don't have any keys. Yeah. You blow the skulls up, they spawn enemies, sometimes black hearts and cards as well. Like I said, I'm going through this pretty quickly. Like there's a lot that we're probably missing, but I'm not too worried about it. As I was saying, you could sometimes use the secret room to get into the shop or whatnot here. So boom. Yep, it's the shop because we're fighting Greed. He's another of the mini bosses. So there you go. We hit 4 of the 7 mini bosses. Wrath was the last one. That's what he was, and he shoots bombs. There's a Steam sale. You pick it up. Every item in the shop is 50% off. Really useless now because there's no more shops after this. In fact, we're going to win the game after this fight. But that's not the point. If you get it early enough, it's good. If you get it later on in the game, it's kind of useless. Anyways, we're about to fight the final boss currently. It's Mom! Like she drops her foot down, and then there's 4 terminals where she spawns enemies from. You can attack those 4 terminals. And then at certain points in time, she'll drop her foot down. You just hit any piece of her and it does damage to her. I don't know if I really needed to explain that the red bar up at the top is the HP of the boss, but in the off chance you didn't pick that up, that's what's going on up there. Normally she drops her foot more. There you go. That's the most direct line of damage to her. You just gotta kill her spawns, hit her, deal damage.
Isaac was cornered. His mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
So there we go. We have beat. There you go, and we unlock a bunch of different things from that way. We have beat many different... as you can see, we beat Mom, so it shows like the little thing. Isaac, Mom. There you go. New run. We didn't unlock any characters, unfortunately. But we unlocked a few more challenges. You can do these challenges if you want. You finish them and unlock certain items. And they're, like it says, a variety of challenges. Certain items, only certain effects that you can have, etc., etc. But you can check all the secrets that you got. If you'd like, you can check all the endings. There you go, we got 2 endings. Check all the items that you have if you want. There's 380, I think, in this game. Anyways, that's essentially the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. There are, like I said, there are much more to it, but we'll go into that at some point in time later on. This video's gone on way long enough. So if you like this video and you're trying to learn more about Rebirth, subscribe. I put out new videos every day of Rebirth and other varying content, and I'll be doing some more tutorials based on certain rooms and items and characters and whatnot. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.